Everybody go on YouTube and tell me if it's better now. Tell me if you get better audio now.
Check. Does it work?
Check.
Does it work?
Better audio? Working. All right, Mark. Thank you. So you get these crazy requests to do all this crazy stuff all the time, and it's one of those things. You get all kinds of requests. You ever say no to anything?
Oh fuck yeah! I say no all the time. And it's like, there's a lot of companies out there, man. I could point you in a direction of somebody that will be doing that, but I just don't like doing the same thing over and over again. That's why all of our guns are one of a kind. Like I won't do the same thing twice. Like I'll have people, dude, I want that exact same gun. I'm like, no, bro. I can do one that has that same theme, that same feel, that same look, but I'm not gonna do the exact same thing because the person that owns that gun, when I did it to, I told him, you'll have a one of a kind. That no one else will have it. So I say no to that a lot. But normally people are pretty cool about it, and it's just like, well, let me tweak it a bit. Like I get what you like that, but you want an original too. You don't want one that everyone else has. Like you don't want that.
So we've worked on some good projects through the years. We had a blood splatter rifle. We've had some sports themes rifle, pistols.
Fucking Patriot.
We did a Patriots one, which we'll get into later. We've had a lot of cool stuff. Some of it that isn't your style. We kind of push the limits a little bit, but especially with the sports stuff, I know you're not nuts about it, but it's cool. It's fun. You get so many requests out there, and there's so many different. And I don't want to get into like the mud of the business. There's so many different Ceracoders out there, and there's so many different. Whose work do you look at and you say like, this guy's doing good work right now? I really like what he's doing. Like who inspires you, or who kind of you look at and you're like, I like that work.
Paint, Blackout Customs is probably the one that jumps out at me paint wise. He does ever since Johnny left, he pretty much does 90% of my work now. So he's really good. Mike over at Blown Deadline. Dude, people always think like for some reason me and him hate each other. I don't know, like the industry drama or whatever, but that dude could paint. Like before my cousin Johnny started painting for us, he did like 2 of my guns like way back when, and he just has a very, he has a unique style when people weren't.
Mike's really, it's funny about Mike, and Mike and I have had our goods and bads because I knew Mike even before the fire and everything.
Yeah, same here.
I like Mike. I get along with Mike, and I know Mike's had his up and down. Mike's just, and this is the whole thing like we're getting to with this business. Mike's like everybody else out there. He's just building a business, and he's trying to put food on his table for his family.
Yep.
And that's what gets lost in translation in this business is everybody is just trying to make a living. And there's a lot of people out there that watch from Instagram or they watch from social media, and they don't understand that behind all these companies is somebody like you. And I'm glad that you put it out there. You're just trying to pay for hockey pads for your son to go play hockey. You know what I mean? You're trying to put food on your table. You're trying to move your family from LA to Vegas. You're just trying to make a living in this business.
Yeah.
And people think it's about an Instagram page, or they think it's about social media, or they think it's about like who can be what, or who thinks they're more tactical, or who thinks they're this.
He does tactical cartwheels, and I get that all the time, dude. Like, that has no tactical use at all, and I'm like, bro, it doesn't have to. Trust me, I get it. My guns, you're probably not going to want to take them in a shootout. Like, they'll work and they'll do that, but the cops might have something to say about it if you get caught with that. Like, there's all different.
It's meant to be a
roles.
showpiece.
Yeah, bring it when you and your buddies are sitting around saying that who has the best gun, who has this, and I want you to take out my piece. I win. You know what I mean? It's
meant to be a showpiece. It's meant to be something that you take out of the safe, and everybody's like, "Wow, that is really badass. I love that." Can you take it to the range and shoot it? Yeah. Would it be something you'd want to carry every day? Not necessarily.
Yeah, not a lot of times. I mean, we do some that are like that, but all my guns, no matter how badass and how they look, I always want people to shoot them. I hate it when people are like, "Oh, that's a wall hanger. That's all I'm going to do." I'm like, at the end of the day, it's still a tool. I wouldn't put anything out that I wouldn't put in my daughter's hands. So I get like, it's a very good compliment in one way. People are like, it's a wall hanger, it's a piece of art, but I still want it to be able to use. That's why another thing why I came into sort of our grungier style is like, if you bring my gun to the range and the first thing you do is you drop it in the dirt and you bang it on some rocks, it's just going to add character. Like, it's just going to, it'll either hide that, imperfection, or you'll just add to it. So
when you're designing these things and people say to you, they say, do whatever you want. Is that the worst thing someone could say?
That's the worst, because I'm like, what if I like tactical unicorns, dude? And it's not your thing. Like, I get, like, you like the style and like the things I do, but I'm like, okay, I appreciate that and that's cool. Give me a little bit of direction, just an idea, because, or a color. You might really hate fucking brown. I don't know you. You know what I mean? So give me like a little bit of direction. That's all I need, just a little bit, and I'll completely take it from there. But yeah, when it's like, just do whatever you want, I'm like.
And if you guys haven't checked out his work, I know some of you are commenting on right now that his stuff's sweet. Head over to Dark Alliance Firearms, Dark Alliance Customs on IG. Check out all his work. Jeremy is a wizard with the laser. I don't think there's another guy out there doing what he does. What's the craziest thing you've ever had a laser engrave other than a firearm?
Oh, dude, motorcycle. Like, my buddy out here, Welder Up, they had a TV show, Las Vegas Rat Rods. Well, one of them, they were doing a vet bike, and they wanted it to look like, a vet owned the thing for years and got into it, was, carving his name and his buddy's name in it, and, really made it just a nasty build. So he's like, can you do some of that for me? I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'd love to do it, because afterwards they auctioned it off, and then all the proceeds went to the vet organization. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm in for sure. Not thinking that he's going to bring over like these 6-foot long forks. And I'm like, right, dude, how am I going to fit that? So I literally have it in a vise, hanging off over here on a step stool. So it doesn't, because when you're lasering, what people don't realize is it has to be 100% flat, and otherwise the laser will lose focus.
Right.
And if you're off a millimeter, it's going to show. It's not going to cut. So I'm hanging these 5-foot long forks off of this laser. Oh, dude, that was crazy. That was really, really fun. You guys go check it out at Welder Up's Instagram, and they have it on there. It's awesome. Dude, that's somebody you should have on here.
Anytime. I mean, let them know. But somebody actually, American Merit just said, he made a good point. He goes, your work looks like tattoos. I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I like that. I'm not bummed out that someone would say that, and that's cool. That's kind of a lot how we do it. Like, when you go to your favorite tattooist, if they're really good and they're an artist, you say, this is what I want, here's a couple bullet points, and then do your thing, and you have to trust that person, that their style, why they're here, why you came to them or me, so that it'll be good. You just gotta give us some ideas and let us do, and that's really when the artistry kind of flows on it.
What are some of the coolest companies you've worked with?
Man, I did.
Well, Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus was really cool. Beltor has always been cool to me. A really fun one was Auto Ordnance. They make the Tommy gun, and that we did a really cool bootlegger setup for it, which is like, we took my buddy Dustin Burkett Customs. He's one of those. He does all my 1911 grips, and he's one of those guys that like really is off the wall. He finds really weird materials. I mean, everyone's seen meteorite and mammoth and that sort of stuff, but he'll literally go digging up bones from a creek bed type thing. So he found these tax stamps. They're old Prohibition era alcohol stamps that would let you do it. So then he put those into the actual grips itself, molded them into the grips, and then on the Tommy gun on the grips there. And then we put leather work, cut down the stock on it, did leather work around that held a flask, and made a really badass like bootlegger set. That was a really fun one I did with those guys.
So I always have a soft spot for the custom guys and the guys doing the gunsmithing work and doing the work like you do. Having grown up in Lou's shop, Business and Customs in Peabody, Mass.
Good dude.
Lou's a Boston guy, one of the best dudes in the business.
He's a fucking ham and egger.
And yeah, anybody who wants to fucking know my history, that's where I got my start. That's where I started. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lou's super good dude.
Hanging around with Lou. Anytime anyone's had a problem with me in the business, they end up calling Lou, and Lou's like, leave him the fuck alone.
Yes, that sounds right.
Lou's like one of the best dudes around, and he's a guy who just only wants to do 1911 work. You can occasionally get him to fuck around with polymer.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And but it's bitch about it the whole time,
bitch about it the whole time, but Lou's one of the best dudes out there, and so I have such respect for what you guys do, and I know that it's a work of art. I know that it's a prize piece, something that you're creating. Where do you go from here now? I mean, because I know everybody out there is kind of. I've had people ask me this: when's he going to do something that's more of like a production run? When's he going to do something that's like a larger scale run that people can tap into? Because work like yours isn't inexpensive. It's pricey to get the type of custom work that you do, just like Lou's. I mean, you're not going to touch one of Lou's guns for under $3,000-$4,000.
Right.
That's where Lou is.
Yeah. Just so many hours that go into it.
There's so many hours that go into it, and plus he has a backlog. He's like, screw, I'll go do someone else's. He'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So how, do you go into something like that, like a 100, 200 piece run? Is that something that could be in the cards?
Yeah, I've talked with a couple companies, Taurus being one of them, and then I got some stuff in the works where if I do any of that stuff, it will be a very limited thing. Probably most I'll do is 100.
100 pieces with one company, one line, 100 on another, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Something that's very limited because, I mean, I like to say that I can work with anyone's budget, but the truth is if you only have a couple hundred to spend, there's not going to be that much that I could do to it. So having that is something that always kind of appealed to me, especially if I could do what I want on it, give it my personality, my flair, and be like, look, these are ones that if you don't have time, because a lot of guys, they don't understand, my lead time is between 12 and 14 weeks. It just takes that much time. There's a lot of people that are ahead of you before I can get it. So a lot of people are like, dude, I love your work, but I don't like to wait. So it'll work perfect for that type of guy that wants that same feel, wants that flair, and they're still getting something that not a lot of people have because they'll all be numbered, and there's, like I said, very limited run on them. But yeah, no, for sure, it's definitely something
that would definitely be huge for a lot of people out there that have, I don't want to say a limited budget, and I don't like to call them cheap, but don't want to go out and spend, $1,000 or $2,000 on the work. So,
but they don't want to have the same thing that every guy at the range has.
Every guy at the range has, but in a limited run,
then it's still something special. It's still like, okay, there's more of them out there. It's not a one of a kind, but there is only a couple of them.
Now you had the TV show. Yeah. You had the History Channel show.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked it out,
good luck finding it.
What was it like? What was it like working on that?
It was cool and a pain in the ass at the same time. They like you to be reality, but they like to tell you what reality is. So me and JJ were smart enough that we put in our contracts that at the end of the day, if it's something that's detrimental to our character, we don't have to do it, or we don't have to say anything. Right. So I use that line a whole lot during filming when they're like, no, that's great, but can you say blah, blah? And I'm like, dude, there's no way I would ever say that in my life. And you got to do it. The producer say, I'm like, that sounds like it's detrimental to my character. I'm like, fuck, Jeremy again, really? I'm like, sorry, dude. But it was cool though. Like we got to blow up a bunch of fucking cool shit, and not as many people. Like I got footage that my kids could be like, dude, my dad filmed a show once. Like that was pretty cool,
I got a question, Neil, because I'm a huge proponent of this. I think we're witnessing the death of TV.
Yeah.
I think TV's dying.
Yep.
I look at shows like Joe Rogan. I look at platforms like this that go on YouTube and they live forever. And I look at stuff like this. I think all that streaming. I think all that shit is dying. And I think people that are running those shows and that are doing those types of shows, they don't realize that a lot of that's over.
Yeah.
You have Netflix now. You have Amazon. You have streaming taking over. It's very hard now to put a show together. Because I look at what Joe's doing and he's killing it.
Oh,
he's just murdering it.
For sure.
And there's the Fighter and the Kid, there's other podcasts, and it's real.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting here and you're telling your story and it's real, and that's what people want to see. They don't want to watch Days of Our Lives anymore.
Right.
They don't want to watch a staged out show anymore.
They don't want to see the corniness, and I gotta tell you, man, like we did that filming. One of them made it to air, but we had 5 other ones that they got scared and they pulled them because they were about guns. So, but I got to see the copies of them. So seeing them, I'm like, oh, dude, some of the other people on there, like they really come off cheeseball like that because they're not. I'm like, that's not that guy. That's not how he is.
Right.
But they're telling you, no, you need to do this and that. So, like you said, people that actually are real and can talk like a normal human being. That's what people want to see now, and I don't think there's a lot of companies out there that get that.
I think there's so much real content out there that people know what's real and what's bullshit.
Yeah, it's not like before where there's fucking you have cable TV and it's all run. It's part of a machine. It's not now with YouTube and everything that's out there. It's like people like, no, that's corny as hell over there. Why don't I just watch this that is like me and my buddies?
Yeah. People want to hear people's personal story. They want to hear about their journey, and it humanizes them. And one of the things I was trying to do through this podcast and podcasts in the past was just do something where it's like we all work in the firearms business, but we're all normal dudes.
Right. Yep.
We're all normal dudes. People go home to their families. People go home and do whatever it is they love to do. You go to the hockey games. You go to your son's games. You enjoy that stuff. You live a normal life. It's not like, hey, I'm going to stage this out. This is going to be some fake-ass, whack-ass friggin' drama show.
We need some trouble. We have to have something to get them back after the commercials run. So what kind of drama can we come up with? Nothing. That's fine.
That's just life. You know what I mean? Is it blowing a car up enough? You know,
exactly.
Come on. So, you do the show, and that's a lot of fun, but, it kind of, it stems into social media, and I ask every guest this. It's a loaded question, but what do you think of social media? Especially in our business.
I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, man. Like, if it weren't for social media, if it wasn't for Instagram, I wouldn't be doing what I am right now. It was an easy platform that a couple broke dudes like us were able to build what we want to build, and other people liked it, and that's what helped, because we couldn't pay for advertising. Like, and if you're a local guy in a small town or even a big town, there's only so much customers are going to see you. You go to Instagram, and that was the whole world that could see you, which was awesome. That's what built us. I never once have I ever paid for followers. I never paid for advertising. I never paid someone to repost anything. That's stupid. That's part of my hard-headedness that I'm like, no, anybody that on me likes me, they could find me that way. I'm not going to pay you to post a fucking thing for me. But now in our industry, there's a shadow banning. It's bad. No one likes to see you.
Yeah. You're fighting for airtime, and I know a lot of guys, especially on the fitness side, that paid for posts, paid for reposts and shares. It's more rampant on the fitness side than anywhere else. I feel like on the firearm side, it's more everybody takes pride in being like, you get those people that say I'm real, and then like they'll repost pictures that they're not even in. Right. So everyone has their shtick, everyone has their angle. Right. Everybody's perfect. Just ask them; they'll tell you how perfect
absolutely,
they are. And I always say, like, dude, it's just marketing. Like, who cares if somebody paid to go to Guns Daily or paid for an ad? Or I'm like, if that's how they choose to market themselves,
for sure.
As long as they're somewhat transparent about it. You get people that are like, "Oh, I didn't buy an ad on his page." Bullshit, you didn't.
I know that dude. He doesn't do it for free.
So it's one of those things. But
and the people that want to pay for that and want to do that, that's fine. Like, there's nothing bad. That's just not me. That's not how I did. And you get hit up all the time, I'm sure, about it, where some of the bigger pages are like, "Hey, I like your work. If you want to promote it, it's going to be this and that." And I'm lucky enough that I'm different in the type of builds that we do, that my standard response is, look, I'm not going to charge you to post my picture. You could take my picture, and trust me, it'll help grow your content. Because the guys that you're paying to put some fucking Cryptech on your gun and post them, my content will help actually get you more people that like it. So I'm
on the fitness side. It's a little different because when you get into contracts with the companies, you're promoting the product.
Yeah, for sure.
And fitness has like broader based pages that you have to participate in. I know Tony has in the past. Everybody has.
Yeah.
You reach a point though where you're just not going to do that anymore because you're just like, fuck it, I don't care.
Right.
I know for me, like, I don't give a shit anymore. It's rare that you even see me post a picture anymore of me shooting a gun or holding a gun.
Right.
Because my career has just transitioned in a way that now I'm more on the corporate side. I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm still trying to give an outlet back.
Well, that's not all that you're not getting cornered that way. That's not. There's a lot more to you and your brand, or however you want to say it. There's more to who you are than just, I'm a shooting guy. That's it. So it makes perfect sense.
I'm going to do a mag dump in the desert, and that's who I am.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean,
mag dumps are fun. Don't talk shit on mag dumps.
Oh my God.
I won't hit anything, but I'll pull the trigger a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, the business has been interesting. Social media is a very interesting one in this business, and I have to talk with every guest about it. It's a double-edged sword, like you said. It's a blessing and a curse. There's a lot of good that comes out of it. You can grow your business, grow your brand, grow whatever it is you're trying to grow, your corner store, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
But at the same time, the gun industry, I always say to everybody, it's a very juvenile gun industry.
Oh, yeah.
We're still very much stuck in the high school and grade school space. Sure. And not everybody understands what goes on behind the scenes and the friendships and the love that you have. And it's like, you have people that, like you said, think you're in a beef with someone and you're like, no, that's like, my boy, my homie. Why would I hate him because he does what I do? I support him.
Dude, I get people that ask me all the time, like, what laser do you and what equipment do you have? I'm like, here's my rep's number. This is what I use. I'll tell anybody that stuff. Yeah. I don't care. Like, the equipment doesn't make you. You make yourself. You make the business. So, people are like, you must have a problem with this guy, that guy's like, fuck no, I don't care. And and I'm the type of guy that, instead of me going out of my way to hate you and going out of my way to talk shit on you, which there are plenty of people that are like that, there's no shortage, I just don't pay attention. Like, I just don't give a fuck about you enough to put the energy into it.
What makes me laugh about that is the guys that do that, they're doing that as a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
That's what's fun. The same shit that they say they hate, they're doing that for a reason to get a rise out of you. Like the guys that come on your page that might be laser guys or circle guys or whatever they are, custom guys. They'll come on your page, they'll say X, Y, or Z, and then they'll be like, but I'm real, you know what I mean? I don't do this. And you're like, you're doing it now.
Right.
You're trying to get me to publicize you.
Right. You're sliding into my DM on the backside like, hey, dude, I hope you, like, I'm sorry if I pissed you off. That's not really how I meant it. I'm like, dude, you said it. You meant it. Like, don't, like, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it. Me, as you know, I've heard it all in this business. So there's nothing I haven't heard. There's no mountain I haven't crossed. There's nobody I haven't come across that's like, try to tell me who I am and what I am and what I do. So I'm always like, yeah, sure, like, great, you're right.
You're right, man.
Yeah,
good one.
Right
Who are you again?
Good on you, exactly. Like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years from now, I'm still here. Where are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So, you know, through the years, we've both seen that 100 times. But social media can be a great tool, and it can be useful. And seeing you come up through the years and just seeing the work that you've done, it's been really amazing. And the stuff that you've done has been, honestly, I'm happy every time I see some really cool, different work come out of your shop, and the stuff that you do is really amazing. Nobody else is doing it, Jeremy.
Right.
Nobody else is doing it, and it's really, you know, I can't say it enough.
Well, so you know, it goes back to like you started, you know, at the beginning where people, whether they like to copy you or like to do that. I mean, that stuff, it doesn't bother me. Like if someone makes a really cool build, dude, I'll fucking comment on it for everyone to see, not in your DMs where I'll say right on there, dude, this is badass. Like, killed it right here. I know what it takes to do that, and that's badass. Like, there's no need to hate on somebody else about doing it. Let that push you to, fuck, I better keep pushing forward because this guy's catching me.
Like, I know for me, you know, in the beginning, it's funny, Tony and I would talk about it. A lot of people would say, oh, you know, he's just trying to be a male model, or he's just trying to do this, or he's just a gun buddy, or he's just that. And then people would figure out things about me and my backstory, and then they would see me in pictures with certain people, and they would see the friendships I had and the relationships I had, and they're tuned slowly. Like, wait a minute here. So, you know, you have to be a little bit willing to be like, nah, like, he's a good dude, or, you know, he's doing good work. Like, support that good work.
Right.
There's not, and this comes back to the point, there's not enough love in our business, and that's part of the problem. Everybody's trying to be somebody, and they're too worried about being the man instead of supporting and getting in the car with the man. You know what I mean?
It's like they dude, Instagram and social media is not real life. That's a snippet of what 100%. The best thing, what people want you to see. If you focus on what you are and what you do, then the followers and everything, that'll come. Just you have to focus on what you do and how you are, and that'll pay off. Or if I won't, but at least that way you'll be genuine, and you don't have to. You can look back on anything that you do. You can look back on it and be like, that was me.
I always say Instagram and social media should be like your resume. It should be the best snippet of a moment in time.
Yep.
And it's like when people come down on you for making your resume look glowing, I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm like, your resume should be the glowing example of who you are. Right. And your resume is your work, your photo, whatever it is that you're putting out there. But what I try to explain to people is Instagram, that's why people like posting food. They like posting workouts. They like posting the work they do at work.
Right.
It's the best part of their day. Hey, here's what I did today that I'm proud of, so I'm going to put it out there. People don't see the behind the scenes. Like, you post stuff, like sometimes you'll put in your stories, you know, your son making an awesome save. Like, that's the best part of your day. Like, that's my boy, you know? And, you know, people like to post their food, and they say, like, this is like a badass meal I'm having. You know, I'm getting to sit and enjoy it. It's not meant to be picked apart. It's meant to be like, hey, like, that's awesome, man. Like, right on.
Like, dude, check this out.
Yeah,
like,
check this out. People read into it for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So, you know, I say to everybody out there in social media land, when somebody posts something, as corny as it sounds, don't hate, congratulate. Spread some love. You know, people should be nicer to people. I think people should be a little bit more congratulating. Oh, good for you. You know, social media, especially in our business, has become one of those things where people don't even like to put out there that they got a promotion. Because people are like, oh, fuck him, he doesn't deserve that. Oh, screw him.
It takes way more energy to fucking bitch and complain, and then you're gonna be pissed off about it afterwards. Because, dude, I get someone like the trolls that are talking shit. I'm like, fuck, dude, this is your day. Like, you must be a miserable son of a bitch. Like, to put so much energy into somebody you don't know.
There's people that their whole day revolves around them.
Yeah, it's like, dude, that's insane to me. Like, I'm just too busy. I was born with the gift of not giving a fuck, man, and that's
I see. That's all over your page.
That is what it is, and you could talk shit on all you want, and most of the time, if somebody really gets me a good one or whatever, I'll put a smart ass comment back to him, like fucking joking with him, like that's pretty funny, dude. That's a good one. Like I don't care, like you're not gonna piss me off, dude, because who are you? You're not part of my family,
and nobody's immune. You know, Tony's had to hear fake weights. You know, you see people even on Dom's pages, JJ's.
Right.
Nobody's immune. Everybody gets hit with it. Yeah. So social media is a funny thing, but I mean, I'm super excited now to be local to you.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've been saying that for years. I'm like, dude, too bad you live across the fucking country, man.
I've been all over.
I've
moved more times than anybody. Dude. I am the living embodiment of moving around in this business and trying to make it happen.
Yeah, you are a whore. You get around a lot.
I'm telling you. It's been one of those things. But now I'm here, and I'm hoping to have you on a ton of times to talk about everything that you want to talk about. Pistols, work you're doing, you know, and maybe eventually we can get you on one of these podcasts regularly and get you talking about your work and the stuff that you're doing.
For sure.
Before we wrap up, I want to definitely throw it out there. Where can everybody find you, and where can everyone find your work?
Everywhere. And website's just darkalliancefirearms.com. Instagram is Dark Alliance Customs now, because it was a pain in the ass. My people weren't seeing it, so I'm like, maybe if I take firearms out of the name, that might help a little bit. It doesn't. But that's what it is. So just add Dark Alliance Customs now, and then darkalliance.com.
And if somebody wants to come see you for work, and I know people have been chiming in and asking, and they want to get, say, a pistol done or a rifle, give me a breakdown of what, I know every job's different, give them a breakdown of what something like that might look like, what a lead time might look like, and what they should be maybe prepared to spend.
Right. I mean, I would say, anywhere, if we're just doing, single engraving with some Cerakoting on slide only, honestly, you could be as low as like $450, and then you could go all the way up to, $4,500 on the pistol. It's just, what I always tell people is, tell me what your budget is, and that's not because I'm trying to squeeze you every nickel, but I need to know how I get you the most for what you want. You know what I mean? And let me figure out how you'll be happy with that. And if it's something where you're like, or send me a picture, like send a picture. I like this gun. This is about how much coverage I want. Then that'll help me do it. And I get this all the time. Yes, we have a storefront. No, I'm not in my garage. People always ask that, like, do you actually have a shop that we come by? And the answer is yes, I do. DM me, email me, and set up a time, because we are by appointment only. Because if I have people walking in and out all day, my lead times are going to go up even higher, because I'll sit around, I'll talk to you for, a long time, and you know how it is, people that want to chop it up for an hour or two, and I'm like, dude, I got to get work done. So I have no problem seeing the mean people, showing you, all the good bang sticks and all that. Just email me, and we'll set up a time, that way you get in and out and scheduled in. But
what's, for rifle work, what can people expect to get into something at the base level? Because I know a lot of people ask about rifles. They ask me about it all the time, every time I post one. Should they be prepared for, I tell everybody, be prepared to spend about $500.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least.
If we're just doing engraving, see, that's the thing with us, there's multiple aspects to what we do.
Engraving, Cerakote, everything.
Yeah, it's always when we first started, I'm like, there's a lot of good painters out there, but I don't want to make guns that are just another pretty paint job. I want to have depth to it. So normally, baseline, you're probably about $850 or so, and then that gets you some engraving on the magwell, Cerakoting, at least 2 tones, if not more, just because you have to have some contrast there to make the details pop. And, it goes from there, because, like I said, you're paying, anything that you do, you're doing paint and engraving. It's not.
Right. No, I forgot about that. But, so last question, I'm sure a lot of people want to know this, because you're in Vegas. Everybody kind of pokes around about this stuff. Can you name 1 or 2 celebrity type people you've done work for, or you have to keep that confidential?
No, there's plenty of celebrity types that I tell them, it's up to you 100%. If you want it out there, then we'll put it out there. If you don't, we won't. Like it. I get it. There's a lot of guys that are like, I really love guns, but I work in LA, dude. I can't have that out there as my But I mean, I do a lot of stuff for Everlast, musician, Grammy winner. That guy does so many guns. He's a super awesome dude, super laid back guy. My buddy Jason Ellis, he has a podcast too. His radio show. Ellis Mania will be out here. You'll have to know that now that you're actually local. It's a great show. We've done those ones. new one music group called Diane's Word. We did one for the movie coming out for that. Yeah, I mean, they could go on my website, dude. They go on the website, go on.
I know
tons.
that guy. I just know you can't get into every single person.
Yeah, it's just that's kind of where I'm like, fuck, I don't want to slip up and then.
I know some of the names,
dude. You can't do that.
He does phenomenal work. If you guys get a chance, go check out Jeremy at Dark Alliance. Go check out his page. I know some of you guys shared his page on here, so much love to everyone who shared it. Make sure you guys, if you're checking out Jeremy's work, one thing to keep in mind is send him as much detail as you can if you are looking to get a project done. Don't just send him a DM and say, hey, I have a rifle, where do I mail it? Get him as much information as you can.
I have a thing made up on my phone of what do you want, like where I push 2 buttons and it spits out a paragraph because I get it all the time.
Don't slide into his DM. The best place to probably do is head on the website and email him or contact and reach out that way and give him as much detail about the project as you can.
Yeah, just let me know what you're wanting, because if you're just say, I want to get my gun done, how much is it going to cost?
Right.
$200 to $5,000.
Right.
That's got to give me a little bit more info than that, guys.
Yeah, and have a budget prepared. I tell everybody this, whether you're buying an optic, whether you're buying a gun, you have to have some level of a budget. Don't just say it's an endless budget, because they'll spend $5,000. I know I would.
Yeah.
Of your money, of course.
Yeah.
But just make sure you have some level of a budget prepared. Be like, hey, look, I can spend this. I can't spend that. This is what makes sense to me.
Well, it just makes it to where it's that much easier to get you as much as you want for that particular. Like, we could do all this, but you're not going to see that. If for your money, let's put it here.
Make it manageable. Yep. And if you stop by the shop, over at JJ's, like he said, book an appointment, set up a time. Don't just waltz in and try to chew up 3 hours of his time. Nobody likes that, so keep that in mind. It's not personal. So hopefully everybody, understands that. The best place is going to be the website, though.
Yeah, website, email. I mean, you could DM me too. I just, not to be a douchebag, but there's a lot of them in there, so I tend to miss some of them and stuff like that. Where if it's an email, I know it's there and I can find it easy, and my wife helps me out with that stuff. So
I can't thank you enough for coming in.
I'll do it anytime.
You were the first person I called when I moved here.
Oh yeah.
You were the first person I had in for this. This is rough. Hopefully when we go into the new studio.
Dude, the new studio's sick. You guys are gonna love it.
Yeah,
it's badass.
The new studio's sick. It's being worked on right now. I don't have all the logistics in there. We're broadcasting from a satellite studio. But hopefully everybody tunes into this, and remember, head over to kvar.com. They sponsor this. Everybody who's tuned in right now, make sure you head over to KVAR. I'm going to have a thumbnail up of this with a swipe up. This is going to be on iTunes, everywhere podcasts are shown. Make sure that you guys tune in. Make sure that you check out Jeremy's page, Dark Alliance Customs on IG, and Dark Alliance Firearms on the website. And make sure you check out, he's got a snippet there from the History Channel show. Check that out. That's available. Give that a look. And don't forget to check out all of his work and everything that he can do, because he does do some awesome laser engraving work on other stuff other than firearms as well. So make sure you check it out, especially if you have a small business.
Yeah. If it's metal, I'll cut it, man. That's what I tell people.
If it's metal, I'll cut it.
Yep.
I like that. So one of my best friends in the business, can't thank him enough for coming in. He's going to be on again. We're going to have him on a bunch of times. I want to thank all you guys. And maybe, just maybe, I'll post the thumbnail, or I'll post a photo of Jeremy and I, and maybe I can get him to toss a gift card or something out there. Maybe we can do something.
Yeah, do something.
Maybe
like
I'll
that.
toss in something from here, and you toss in $100 worth of engraving.
Yeah.
And we can do something like that.
Yeah.
Right on.
Works, man.
So I appreciate you coming in.
Absolutely.
I appreciate having you. I want to thank everybody. We're going to sign off. Head over everywhere the podcast's shown. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to check out Dark Alliance Firearms. Appreciate all you guys, and thank you guys for sharing his page. Make sure you share his page out there.
Appreciate
I appreciate
it, for
everyone.
real.
Tuning out.